Children's Home Society of West Virginia's Cardinal Family Support Center and the Wood County Partners in Prevention team hosted a workshop for community members and youth leaders of many capacities to teach them about the Lean On Me West Virginia program. Lean On Me WV is a program that helps community members and youth leaders to learn more about how they can provide more support for families in the community who are unable to fulfill the needs of their children due to poverty, as opposed to reporting them to CPS right away. According to Rain Gibbons, supervisor of the Parents as Teachers program at the Children's Home Society, reporting child abuse and neglect is important. She says it's also important to distinguish between situations of serious neglect and being unable to fulfill the needs of children due to poverty.
This program, this training, is aimed to help alleviate some of those misconceptions on families who need help, on different resources options that maybe people who work with families don't know about, and just how we can better support each other in the community.
Gibbons says that they plan on having these types of trainings quarterly for those who are interested. For more information on the Lean On Me WV program and how you can report instances of child abuse and neglect can be found in our online article at WTAP.com.